Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Adam's TV Podcast. I am your host, Adam Samuel. Today, talking some America's Got Talent. We just had week one of the live shows. That was last week. We're going to be going through all the acts, the performances, and the results. A lot to go over. Some good, some bad, some very bad, some pretty strong. But here with me to go through it all is Eric. How you doing, Eric?
Doing good. I had a great week. Started a new job. Hooray! And I'm so happy I'm so happy with where I work. I'm so happy with life right now. And America's Got Talent. But we'll get to it. At least we're on the live shows now, so we're through the boring parts.
Eric, it took weeks. There were auditions.
No, it took weeks, but it took too many weeks is the thing.
And we finally have arrived. Finally, this is the good part of the season. We've made it to the live shows. This is the peak my interest in America's Got Talent gets. And
add actually one quick thing. I'm going to plug my new website URL because I combined both my websites. So it's now just ericascher.com. Yay. And but at the top of the post for this podcast is literally just the word finally. So enjoy that.
A long time coming, Eric, is all I can really say. But I got to say, though, I was getting very excited for this episode. And as a whole, kind of disappointing. Do you agree, Eric?
What did you say? It kind of glitched through.
Kind of disappointing.
I'm not going to say it was disappointing because my top two acts of the season were on this episode. But other than them, yeah, it was kind of disappointing.
What do you think was like the highlight of this episode? Like, what was the headline like from this episode? Like, it was who was the headlining act? Who was the star like of this episode?
Well, I'm biased, but Shin Lim was by far the best act.
Yeah, I still not sure if he'll win. Maybe he'll win.
I don't think he's gonna win.
I think I said before. I think I said last time top 3, but the only thing I could take solace in is the fact that we don't follow the Britain's Got Talent format, because can you imagine this episode and that already? What?
We'd be done already.
We'd be done, but like imagine this is the first live show for the Britain's Got Talent.
And only 2 people make it through?
And only 2 people make it through. That's why I'll never be able to watch that show, because like everyone's going home, right?
It makes America's Got Talent look really slow, but it also makes America's Got Talent's problems look less bad. But I'll say I do like Britain's Got Talent. I mean, usually. There are parts of it I like, parts that I really don't. But let's get back to this show.
All right, let's get right into the acts, right?
Yep.
All right, so 12 acts are going to perform. If you weren't paying attention to Howie constantly reminding us, 7 acts are going through. If we were to play a game, Eric, where we would take a shot every time we're reminded how many people are going through, what would be the prognosis at this point? What would be the prognosis at this point?
Well, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be a ghost.
Yeah, it's you gotta vote, and it's Mel B like losing her mind. But on the topic of Mel B, I'm seeing a lot of people kind of starting to criticize her a bit about her reactions to some of these episodes and some of the acts. What do you think about Mel B's judging this past week?
Here's a fun story for this week. So I didn't get to watch all of the judges' comments this week. I watched some of them. I mostly watch Simon because he's the only one who actually ever buses people. So he's the one I need to watch. So
yeah,
but I like Mel overall. She gets a little annoying at times, but people are getting mad at her now all of a sudden. I don't get why.
She's always still my favorite judge, which is still saying a lot. Like that just shows how much I dislike.
I do like her, though. I do like her. I do like her.
I mean, like I have a problem with
every
judge.
She said next to Howie makes her look so much better by comparison.
I mean, Howie I could rant on forever. Like Simon Cowell, I'm still mad because he took away Howard Stern. And Heidi Klum, I'm always mad at her because she always says like for comedy acts, like, oh, this isn't my comedy act. This isn't a family act, and that's why she sends people home, and that just always kind of sticks with me. But our first act of the night isn't a comedian. It is Mochi. He is a Diavolo performer. Have you ever had any experiences playing with Diavolo, Eric?
No, not like this. At least I haven't.
I played with a yo-yo once, so I'm basically like going to be on America's Got Talent.
No, but you have to come up with all the projections and things around you.
Oh yes, but I'm not that creative. I mean, I could do the walk the dog. Like that's one thing I can do. Like imagine me on stage and they're like, "All right, what's your talent?"
You know what?
That's
more of a talent that human fountains have. But
be nice to the human fountains because I have a lot to say about them.
Wait, we'll get there.
I liked them.
Oh, I wanted them to go through.
Oh, I wouldn't have gone that far. But we're talking about Mochi. So he comes on stage. He does this act. It's pretty much in line with the other ones. It's really creative. It's really interesting. I have on my notes before we even got to the results. I thought he was a pretty strong act to start the night. But I did have like to ding him a little bit where I said the act is getting a little repetitive. What did you think about it, Eric?
I think the projections are really cool. I like that he keeps trying to step it up a bit. I don't think he's $1 million act, and I'm not shocked that he got cut.
I really liked Mochi. Like
I like him a lot.
I did not think he would be making I felt like he would be one of those acts probably cut like right before the finale, or if he makes the finale, he'll be like in the bottom 5. I didn't see him winning at all, but he just has his personality so like infectious and like very like he makes you happy.
I thought he would have made it for this week.
I got to tell you, we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to the end, but I'm shocked that he didn't make it, even though it was getting repetitive, which I will say because most of the acts that follow him are just so not as strong. But I was like, I thought he was like a shoo-in. Like I was so.
I didn't think he was a shoo-in, but I thought out of the 3 that were left there, he was definitely a shoo-in.
Yeah, he even gets like a standing ovation, which doesn't really mean that much for America's Got Talent, but
any show at this point.
Yeah, I remember the good old days when Simon Cowell
standing up for Adam Lambert at Mad World was like a shock, and now Simon will stand for anything.
Yep, and what are you gonna do? That's just the sign of the times. That's how things are gonna go. But Mochi, on a grade of like an A to an F scale, I would have given him a B+.
I'd give him a B+.
And we'll talk a little bit more at the results towards the end because there's going to be a whole bit of a rant there going.
Okay.
Let's keep it going. So right after him, we have the Human Fountains. They are our wild card for this episode. And what do they do, Eric? Explain it.
Okay. So first of all, this is my favorite act of the night from a comedy perspective. Not from a talent perspective at all. They're not $1 million act. I think they're the funniest act America's Got Talent's had this year or last year. They are hilarious. Just the whole act, the fact that the classical music behind them, the scenery around them, the fact they're wearing tuxes, the fact they're just spitting in each other's mouths, and then the hot dog comes out, and then the ketchup and the mustard, and I was like, and then he just eats it, and I'm like, yes, that's perfect. I was like, they might not have won $1 million, but they won my respect because I remember saying at their first audition, this is funny for now, but they're not going to be able to keep this funny for the next round of a round after that. I stand corrected.
I wrote down on my notes, not since The Regurgitator have I been this disgusted watching an act. I like them.
Different from Regurgitator, because Regurgitators take it more seriously. These guys are just literally just
I wrote
and the classical music. It's perfect.
They are clearly like I feel like these people on paper they were clearly set up to be. They were brought back to be a fodder act. They were brought back. It's a funny joke. They'll say it one more time and then they'll be like quietly ushered off the stage. But what I did appreciate so much about them is that compared to some of the other acts who've come and gone on America's Got Talent, they seem to be entirely self-aware. And that is what, like...
Oh, they're totally self-aware. That's what's
like, they know exactly their role. Like, they know this isn't something. They're just doing it for fun. And I appreciate that about them. I mean, the act... I don't think I would have put them through.
I would have.
I would have maybe put them for Mochi.
Every time I say I would send them home and they come back and they do something just as funny, I'm like, you know what? Let them go through, but whatever.
I mean, for me, the act this time got to be a little bit too much, like the hot dog and the eating.
Really, the raw egg wasn't too much, and this was?
I mean, he like regurgitated it, like.
But the raw egg was the same thing, wasn't it?
It was a little bit too much for me. I feel like it was like a joke that was like done at a party that got too far, and all of a sudden these people are on America's Got Talent doing it.
They're
good.
I loved it.
I enjoy it. It just, there was like that, the hot dog went a bit too far. And then he's eating it. No.
Making it eating it was so great. He was like, this is good. And then Simon just buses.
I can't.
I love them.
I mean, I like them. Don't get me wrong, they're really, really entertaining. I'm just speechless. I'm speechless, Eric.
Okay.
But
going then. Because I'm gonna be speechless about the next act.
For the better.
For the worse.
Ooh, let's talk about them. So we're gonna move on to the Angel City Chorale, and they are a choir, and they are going to be performing a song that was only released like a year ago, and I already never want to hear it again. This is me from The Greatest Showman.
Here's the thing. Let me interrupt you.
Interrupted.
I didn't hear that song until Mara Justine played it, sang on Idol. I hadn't heard it before then.
It's everywhere. You can't get away from it.
I like the song. I'm not sick of it quite yet. But I have a sign for a reason.
Why did you get it, Eric? Explain it to me. Let me hear why.
Okay. I just still think that they're just probably one of the worst choir acts I've ever seen, because there's no lead singer. And they're really mediocre to me. I'm sorry. They seem like lovely people, and I don't hate them as people. But I don't get it. I'm sorry. They're just there's no for me, choir work has to have a couple really outstanding singers in it that take the lead and everyone else backs them up. And they don't have those. And I just don't get it. I don't get why they got the golden buzzer. I don't get why they got the save. I don't get it. But
yeah, they are an act that got Olivia Munn's golden buzzer. But I wrote this in my notes. I don't know if it's a little bit too harsh, but
you're cutting in and out. But
I'm sorry. They are just for those who might not have heard. This is they got Olivia Munn's golden buzzer during the judges' cuts. But for me, I don't know if this is like a little bit too harsh to say, but it's like Sob Story Armageddon, where it's relying too much on the backstory, like everything, like when someone is like a dancer, they have like the backstory and then they have the performance. I feel like this was all just the whole backstory, and
yeah.
It was really cheesy. Like, I feel like I don't feel like people should have to rely on their story to be their talent. Like, are people going to go to their show and hear them like just talk about like it's? Do you kind of understand what I'm saying a little bit?
Yes, but I don't disagree. I'm not. I totally agree. I don't know why I sounded so like I don't agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I just don't get them. They won't make it past next round though. So there's that.
Yeah, but the thing is, another point that happens is while they're doing this. First of all, just one note: when we've had choirs in the past, since when did the directors join them on stage? Like I don't think we've seen that before. Was that
I think I've seen it on Britain's Got Talent.
Not for like the kids this year, like in the. I feel like she's like part of the story, so they want her on. But like, what is she doing? Like, I'm just unfamiliar with choirs. Like, she's standing there. She's just kind of going like pointing. Like, what is she doing?
She's there for show.
She is probably really just like.
She's there, I don't know.
Whether she would be there or not is just like. I feel like she's kind of the face of the group, but
because they don't have any good lead singers, that's why.
Yeah. And also they have this one part where in the audience, the drummer starts showing up in the audience. And it reminds me of this joke, and it's not entirely coming from me, but it was from Family Guy, where I think Stewie and Brian, they go to like a Broadway play, and all of a sudden the actors start coming into the audience and snapping their hands, and they're singing like, now you're having fun because we're in the audience. And like, that was kind of a little bit the same kind of thing that I was getting. Right? A little bit?
I haven't seen that episode of Family Guy, but I think I understand the type of joke that you're referencing, and yeah,
it's like
exactly like that.
First of all, have choirs, like, could you go to like an hour-long choir show? Like,
if they were really, really good, I could.
I don't know.
Personally, I could. I can't say that I wouldn't go to a choir show, but I wouldn't go to this choir show. Yeah.
I don't know. But the thing is, they get like standing ovations, but I feel they also got the most critiques so far.
Did
like, they also, Mel B called like I said, she called the choreography cheesy. Good. And like, you don't get to give people standing ovations and then criticize them. Like, right, Eric?
What?
You don't get to give people standing ovations and then criticize them.
I would tend to agree with that statement, but you know.
I mean, they get through.
Giving Shin Lim a standing ovation, and but we'll get there.
The thing is, I also know that they were probably totally set up like this. I feel like if it was up to them, this would not have been their narrative. This is all the producers. The producers forced them into this song. Like, this is. Do you think so? Do you think they kind of pick this of their own volition or their own choices?
I don't know. I mean, I don't like them, so and because you don't like the song, I'd say yes, but I don't know.
All right, let's. Shall we keep it moving?
Yeah, let's.
So we move on to the most controversial act of the night that I'm seeing is getting a ton of hate even after the episode has aired and they've been eliminated. It is the Pack Dance Team. They are a troupe of dancers. I think they're from high school. They're high school troops, right? They perform in high school. And they do this performance, and I'll be honest, I could tell there was a theme. I had no idea what the theme was. Turns out that theme was actually Willy Wonka, but did you get it, Eric?
I didn't get that.
What did you think of the performance?
Well, I didn't think they were good enough to make it through with this many acts in one night.
Yeah, there was a lot of people don't like these guys. Do you have any idea, like, why that might be the case? Like, why they've earned so much, like, ire from the America's Got Talent fan base?
Because Howie doesn't like them, and, you know.
I actually went back and watched some of their old videos because it turns out here's what I predict happened is they submitted some videos to YouTube. They got pretty viral. Some of their videos have, like, a couple million views, and America's Got Talent Scout, like, recruited them and said, hey, come on our stage, do like a cut down version of your performances. And they probably hyped them up like, oh, the judges will love it. And I feel like they were a little bit set up to fail. Do you think so?
Wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is they get some criticism from the judges also. And the poor kids just look crushed. Like, they're still kids, and I do kind of feel bad for them because I'm always like kind of rooting for the underdog, even though it wasn't the best performance. They deserved to not advance, but to still see that, like, the crushing emotion, just, I don't know. And Mel B even says that this is their best performance, and then pretty harshly, like, gives them harsh critiques. It's like an incongruent, like, it just doesn't kind of go with it. Like, do you kind of agree? Yeah. Howie actually buzzes them.
Howie doesn't like them.
Yeah, Howie doesn't like them at all. I just have for my notes, I feel like people are being a little bit too hard on them because I don't know. I just kind of feel for them. If you're watching these shows and throwing hate at people, like, you're taking, it's just a show. Like, it's just a game. Like,
when I critique an act, unless they give me a reason to know they're not a nice person, I assume they're nice people, and it's just not my taste.
Unless it's Big Brother. By all means, on Big Brother, you can throw as much.
But on America's Got Talent, Idol, those shows, I don't hate any of the artists or acts. I just don't. I don't like some of them. Some of them aren't my cup of tea, but that's different, I think.
I do also, one final note I do want to touch on for them is that for dancers on America's Got Talent, the show has astronomical expectations. People who are dancers, you're expected to be absolutely 99% perfect. And I feel like people forget that these are high school students.
Yeah.
And they're not like a troupe that's been like performing forever. They're just kids, and I do like they're just like a high school group. They're not everyone can be perfect, and I just want to say that for people who have been on America's Got Talent, like perfection is rare to find with these acts, and it's unfair to kind of hold them to the same standards as other acts. And that is me on my soapbox, and I promise I'm getting off it now.
Okay.
All right. So let's keep it going, right?
Yes.
It's funny. We're actually at this point we were 4 acts in, and I wrote down in my notes, and I said the 4 acts, Human Fountains are in my top 2.
For my number 1.
At this point?
Yeah.
Well, I had Mochi at number 1, and he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Amanda Mena. She is a 15-year-old singer. She's coming on stage. She's doing What About Us by Pink. If this was a performance on American Idol, Eric, what would you grade it?
A B.
Yeah, pretty much. I would give it a B. I think she has a great voice. Would
you give it?
I would have given it a B. Probably B minus.
Okay.
I wrote she has a great voice. It's very generic. And I feel like these kinds of performances on like this round work. But if you take this performance, copy it onto the next round, and she's probably going home.
I would agree.
So
yeah.
Like this.
The thing though is, the thing that I do like about it though, I love the production on the track. I like that she sang part of it in Spanish. Parts of that were slightly off though for me. Overall, I liked it though. I did like the way they did the track behind her though. I did like.
Yeah. Do you think she makes finale? Possibly.
Probably not, but we'll see.
What do you think is should her strategy be for making finale? What would you suggest?
Round.
Acapella? You know, we keep saying it. No one's ever going to listen.
I know, but it doesn't mean it's wrong.
You know what she should do? She should do the Remember Me performance that Michelle Suzette did on Idol, but entirely acapella.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
You hate Amanda. All right.
Oh, I don't hate Amanda. Amanda's in my top 5 acts of the season. I just don't think she's going to make the finale.
Yeah, Simon actually, he critiques her. He gives her some critiques. He says, you should be in a group. And as soon as I heard that, I imagine somewhere on the planet, this is a little mean, but somewhere on the planet, Patches has just perked his head up a little bit. Like, I could be in a group with her. Like, be like, no.
No.
I mean, all groups nowadays seem to need a rapper in them, right?
No. Not that type of group. Okay, let's move on. Let's pretend you never said that, shall we?
Final notes for Amanda. I don't see her making it through another round. I mean, she's good, a little generic. I feel like we've seen so many singers like her in the past. Like, probably like I could go through like the Wikipedia entries, and there's like a bunch like they kind of cast this kind of singer like every year, like the non-English singing. They do it on basically like all these shows, but otherwise, let's kind of keep it going, right?
Let's.
All right, so we move on to Junior New System. They are another dance troupe. They are the ones that dance in heels. They are the one I think we went over. They have the checklist for America's Got Talent stories. They have a gimmick. They have talent. They can cry on camera, and they're easy to bust. What did you think about this performance?
I liked them. I like that they have a gimmick and that it works for them. They were a lot more in sync than the other dance acts, the high school dance act. And I do think the comparison helps them.
That's a little not fair, though. I mean,
it's a little unfair. And I'm not surprised they made it over Moji, but I'm not truly happy about it either.
I wrote down for watching this performance, I feel like I had just taken like a full dose of caffeine. Like, it's like, go, go, go. We're like, it's very like high energy. It's like pure adrenaline. I wrote, it was very strong. I didn't think they needed the heels. Like, I feel like the heels are like kind of relegate them to a little bit jokey, like not seriously.
Gimmick. It's a cool gimmick.
It's a gimmick, but like I feel like people might not take them fully seriously because it is a little bit clownish. No?
Disagree. I think that without the heels, they're a little bit too generic. I think they need a gimmick like that.
I see what you're saying. It's just they're really good. I just want to say that it's funny because Howie even says in his critiques that you need the heels, and he kind of wanted to see them more. And I just wrote down I entirely disagree because Howie even says you are the guys who dance in heels, and you should always be wearing them. I just didn't feel like they needed it. I feel like I liked it more when it was like not with the heels. I feel like they were more like a little bit serious.
Okay.
Do you agree at all?
No. Let's keep going.
All right, let's keep it moving. We move on to We Three. They are they're a, can we qualify them as like a Christian rock band? Kind of, that's kind of where they are, right?
That's where they will be if they win the show.
Yeah, this was another original song, right, that they perform? Yeah. So they perform, I think it's called So They Say. What'd you think about it?
They're good. They're not great. I think this is their weakest performance so far. I do. The thing I want to talk about, though, is Howie's comment afterwards. Did you have anything to notice about that? Because I didn't write the specific comment down, but it was something about sob stories.
The quote is Howie says, I think you transcended your story. Was that the comment? I think you transcended your story was the line.
It was before that. It was like he says it involves the word sometimes. Like, like sometimes you have acts come on with sob stories, and he said. And I'm like, no, that's an understatement. Most of the time you have acts come on with sob stories. And if you don't, you'll pry it out of them.
Yeah, Simon was the harshest of them. He says they got it all wrong. They did it all wrong. Everything they did was wrong. He said they didn't step it up. What do you think he meant when he said they went all wrong?
I don't know. I think what he meant is that he didn't want them to go through. That's all I can say.
You know what? People might have had some doubts on whether they would make it through. I wrote down in my notes they are 100% still going through. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they had won the night. Honestly, there is a pretty big audience for these people. I mean, I feel like of the demographic watching America's Got Talent, this is.
I really hope they didn't win the night. I really hope not. I really hope they don't.
I see it. I see there are a lot of people who might want to be into this music. Is all I can really say. I think they're a threat to win. Honestly,
I hope
as crazy as that sounds.
Okay, so here's what I'll tell you. Last time when you said someone was a threat to win and they won, you know who, Maddie, I was laughing at you, and because of that, I'm not gonna argue with you now because we'll see what happens.
I got to meet Maddie, and she was pretty cool. I got to talk to her for a full 30 seconds.
I'm really happy that you got to meet her.
I got a selfie with her. She signed an autograph for me.
I'm so happy.
Awesome. Let's kind of move on unless you have any final thoughts on We Three.
I don't. Honestly.
All right. So let's move on to our escape artist. It is Lord Nil, and I really enjoy these acts. The escape artist act, but I didn't enjoy this one. Did you, Eric?
I didn't watch it, honestly. I just don't like these types of acts enough.
Yeah.
I can't watch. If he made it through, I would force myself to watch it, but because he got cut, I didn't have to watch it, and so I skipped it.
Yeah, the act is basically he has I think it was his lover or his either his significant other or his girlfriend, I don't know. She's in a cage and she's being lowered into a pit of snakes, which have probably all been defanged and fed ahead of time so there's absolutely no danger. And he has to hit this button, and then she's going to escape and give him a lockpick so he can do this whole thing. It was kind of a bit of a misstep. There's some things that people are saying that maybe some fakeness was going on because he goes into the water and it displaces the water, so he has some room to go up and maybe take a deep breath. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just something I was hearing. And then there was this moment when the girlfriend or the wife or fiance, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. She goes to give him the lockpick and she drops it. And this was the moment when they get buzzed. And it was kind of a little bit too dramatic. They were trying to go a little bit too theatrical. Whoa, you all right?
I'm here.
Oh, I just heard a whooshing sound. Anyway.
Train outside.
What?
Might be the train outside my window.
Otherwise, I mean, they were good. I feel like it was just anticlimactic. There was one guy who was on the show a couple seasons ago. I doubt you probably heard of him. His name was Spencer Horseman, and he was a really, really good escape artist. And this guy kind of pales in comparison a little bit. What did you think?
Well, for me personally, a good escape artist is a bit of an oxymoron, so I'll skip.
Because they have to die?
No. For this a good and escape artist, they can't be both.
I'm confused. What do you mean?
You can't. I don't like escape artists. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
I'm feeling spectacularly trying to say it, but that's what I'm trying to say.
All right, let's kind of keep it going. We move on to Flauge. She is a 14-year-old rapper. She was Chris Hardwick's Golden Buzzer act. She has her story with her father, who was murdered, and she had this original song that she performed called, I think it was "Put Your Guns Down" or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, and she comes on stage and she does another kind of like anthemic rap. What did you think about it?
I love the message. I love her. I don't love rap.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised she was cut. We'll touch on this a little bit more.
She got cut
because I think she was like trending afterwards, like on YouTube, like her performance, and
I was totally expecting her to sail through, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, she seems like a nice girl. These acts aren't my kind of thing, and I'm gonna guess it's probably not most of the people who are watching America's Got Talent thing ever either. I think that this is a more Christian-leaning show, and people are going to be more likely to vote for the Christian artist than the rapper.
We'll see.
It's a game of demographics at this point. This is nothing against her. This is just the audience of the show. Like, remember on American Idol when Journey started rapping? That was the week she was in danger. Like,
well, she was in danger every week, sadly, but
it was the first week, which it was like the top 14 week.
Yeah, and then she was in danger for next week, and then she got cut the week after. God, why did she get cut?
Yeah. For me, I mean, I'm not a fan of her music, but I'm also a little bit like she opens up a spot that maybe someone else I might like could get. But that's just because that's more like a personal thing where I'm just like, well, I'm not going to like really remember all your performances because it's not my thing. Maybe someone else who maybe I will root for will kind of take up that spot. Do you have any kind of final notes on her? It's funny. We don't really have much to like talk about for her.
I don't really, honestly. I think she deserved to make it through despite not being my thing, and I'm shocked she got cut.
Yeah, let's move on to the final 3 acts of the night. The first one is someone who I feel you are going to have a lot to want to talk about. It is Shin Lim. He is a magician. Magic. Did you ever see the
No.
what was it with the David Blaine Street Magic?
I have not.
Anyway, that's just something really funny. But every time I see like sleight of hand magicians, that's always something I think of. Shin Lim, what did you think about his performance? For this time, he does this kind of trick with cards, and it's magic. What did you think, Eric?
Okay. For me, he's by far the best actor on the show this year. He's in a league of his own. Best actor of the night. But I have to say, Simon's comment does concern me. Because Shin Lim is perfect the way he is, and Simon doesn't love him. And so I'm afraid a busing is coming next round.
I feel like the second he moves away from like this, here's how Simon wants the next act of Shin Lim's to go. Shin Lim is going to bring out a model, and she's going to go into a box. The box is going to be lifted into the air. It's going to explode, and then all of a sudden she's going to be somewhere else. And that's the trick. And then he goes home.
I don't think Simon wants him to win, so I'm sad.
The thing is, for me, I enjoy his performance. I mean, hot damn, he's a really good magician. Like, he can... I'm pretty sure he's a demon. Like, he's not a human. But I did think it was a little bit cheesy that he's doing I Love America. I Love America's Got Talent. I mean...
Who cares? That's not about the trick. It's not about that.
He writes, like, vote for Shin Lim. Like, it's... The trick is amazing, but, like, why like, it's... pandering is the word. It's a little bit pandering for me, and it's a little...
I don't care if
just a note for me. Like, if I was in the show, I'd be like, oh, like... It's an impressive trick, but like, why you got to do that? But otherwise, he was definitely going through, right, Eric?
If he wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this podcast today because my TV would have been gone.
Now, here's the question for you, Eric. A lot of people are supporting Shin Lim. I think he is the overwhelming like fan base favorite. A lot of people are rooting for him. Can he win?
I hope so because he's the best act, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
Do you think he's as good as Matt Franco?
I think he's better than Matt Franco. Way better.
Them's fighting words. I love Matt Franco. He's one of my favorite winners next to Kenichi.
Matt Franco's tricks are all easy to figure out.
But he's a showman. Well, Shin Lim is also a showman.
Shin Lim's more of a showman, and I don't know how his tricks are done. I know Matt Franco's done.
How did he not get a golden buzzer like up into this round? We gave the golden buzzer to Flage. We gave it to Angel City.
He didn't get a golden buzzer because the show doesn't want him to win, despite being the best act.
Why don't they want him to win? Why do you think?
Because Simon can't make money off of magicians.
Why not? I mean, Matt Franco's doing pretty well for him. I mean, Colin Sakita is also
Simon's not making any money off Matt Franco, is he?
What?
Is Simon making any money off of Matt Franco?
Well, I mean, he's kind of doing his own thing. I think he's like in Vegas somewhere doing like...
Exactly. Simon's not making any money off of Matt Franco. Whereas a singing act, Simon can make money off of for years after the show.
But Simon's already like a gajillionaire. Why does he need more money?
That's my point, but whatever. I don't know.
Any final thoughts? I mean, strong performance, top 3 performances of the night for me. Right next to Mochi. May he rest in peace. May his run on the show rest in peace. Any final thoughts? Are you ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on, and I got my sign ready.
Is the sign? I really get it, and I love this act so much that I hope she wins.
That would be magic. If I turned the one sign into a completely different sign, I'd win a mirror.
Holy shit! Shin Lim has gone through the television and changed Eric's sign. So he goes to hold the sign, and then all of a sudden you see Shin Lim like winking, going like, "Haha, I gotcha."
You know I have a new sign to print out now, right?
What? the picture of Shin Lim winking, and you're gonna hold up the sorry I don't get it, and it'll be Shin Lim's.
I have a new sign to print out right after this podcast ends, so let's get to her.
All right, it's a Vicky Barbalek. She is a stand-up comedian. I think only one of 2 remaining in the competition, right?
Is she a comedian?
Well, let's get into it. She does...
I hold the sign upside down. That was great.
She apparently lives in a trailer park. She tells some jokes, and I don't want to be mean, but there was like one joke that kind of got me to go like, huh. And that's
more than I got.
I wasn't funny. I didn't find her funny. I haven't found her funny all season.
I didn't laugh once at her all season.
I just don't get the hype.
But the jokes aren't good.
I just don't get the hype. Everyone is like, the judges are so high on her, and I'll tell you why they're really high on her. They're high on her because of her story and not because of her talent. And I feel like this is another case of story trumping talent. And I feel like I don't understand how like she's still here.
Me neither.
She seems like a lovely woman, and I'm sure is like very friendly in person, but like Mochi, like even I laughed more at the human fountains.
Oh, I laughed a lot more at the Human Fountains. Human Fountains were the funniest comedian act of the night by a mile.
Yeah, Simon, I think it was Simon even says that, I think America is going to love you. And I'm seeing some people talking about how she should be on Roseanne. Have you heard this?
I just don't think, I don't care. Good for her.
I mean... Have you heard that people are liking her, enjoying her? I mean,
I haven't met a single person who's laughed at her, but I'd like to meet one.
Let's kind of move it on. Do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, she seems like a lovely person, but the jokes don't work on me for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, she's like I said, lovely lady, but it's a little uncomfortable how I'm not like. I've never been to a comedy show where I've never laughed, and this was like a taste of what that would probably be like. Just
I don't know if it would play different in the room, but I just don't know. Okay.
Are you a fan of comedians outside of America's Got Talent? Like who do you listen to outside of America's Got Talent?
Comedians is my favorite type of act on the show besides singer. And so it really hurts me when we can't get a good comedian year after year after year.
We had some good comedians, though. We had 2 good comedians that were cut. Leo's. We had Oliver Graves. I mean, there was...
Oliver Graves was a good comedian. Leo's was not a stand-up comedian in the traditional sense.
You shut your mouth. He was
really
good.
Stand-up comedian.
He was the best comedy act we've had all season.
He might have been, but he was not a stand-up comedian.
I was actually I was with family a week or 2 ago, and I was doing his tricks with the tissue box, where you go,
yeah,
and you take the garbage can and you go and it lifts.
Did you step on it? That's so great.
I love Leo. I'm still better. Let's kind of move on.
Let's move on to this year's winner, shall we?
All right. I don't know if she's gonna win. It is Courtney Hadwin. She is a 13-year-old singer. She
has win in her name. She's gonna win.
She was competed on The Voice UK, I believe, is the show.
It's UK.
Oh, I'm sorry. She sings "Papa's Got a Brand New Bag" by I think it was James Brown, right? I've actually never heard of this song before, but what did you think about this performance of hers?
Pronunciation is still a problem. Her range, her presence impressed me. I think she's the one to beat, but I prefer Noah or Shin Lim.
A lot of people are calling her out because just some other notes. She's one of the Golden Buzzers. I think it was Howie's Golden Buzzer.
Yeah.
So she talks a lot about her stories. She has no sob stories, so they're just kind of focusing on her being nervous, and she's a nervous performer. A lot of people are calling her out on it on Twitter, saying it's convoluted and fake. Do you think it is?
What?
A lot of people are saying the nervous story is kind of fake in that she's performed so many places that
she can still be nervous, but it's not a crippling thing for her. She can still be nervous, but it's not can't be a real problem for her if she keeps performing this well and has this much presence on stage.
Do you think she'll really win, Eric?
Well, right now her views are double the number of shins on YouTube. So
I see top 2 losing to Noah.
I'd be fine with that.
2 singers. I don't know. For me, I don't like her singing voice. I'm sorry.
I don't hate it. I think she has great range, and she could just work on the enunciation a little bit. I'd love her a lot. But
it's a little bit I feel like she's hurting her voice a little bit, where she's kind of shrieking a lot, and it's I don't know. People are so high on her, and I can't get into her voice. It's just too. Is she hurting her voice when she sings that way?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know if she'll win. I don't know.
Number of views say it all.
All right, but she's actually the last act of the night. So we get to our results, and the people going through are Courtney, Vicky, Shin Lim, We Three, Junior New System, Amanda Mena, and Angel City Corral, which means we let's think about Human Fountains, Mochi,
and
Ford Nil,
and 2 other acts.
Flage. What am I missing? Pack Dance Team, right?
Correct.
So, who was robbed here? Where do we make some changes if it's up to us?
The 2 that I would switch out to make this night a lot better for me, and for I think America, if America wants to see a better show, I would get rid of Vicky and I would put through Human Fountains. I would get rid of We Three and I would put through Mochi, and yeah, that was what I would do.
All right.
What about you?
I would bounce Vicky. I would Vicky for
Mochi.
Vicky for Mochi, and maybe the Angel City for.
Oh, Angel City! Crap. No, We Three are better than Angel City, so I would get rid of Angel City.
I'm gonna bounce Angel City for Mochi and Human Fountains for Vicky.
That's what I would do as well, because and the problem, and I would probably get rid of We Three for Flage.
You would put Flage through
over We Three, yeah.
I'm not gonna I don't think I'm going to be able to co-sign that. But those are our 7 acts. Do you think we have? How many people do you think can make a run for this of our people advancing?
2.
2? Who are the 2?
Who do you think over 2? Shin Lim and Courtney.
Yeah, I'm going to say them. I'm also going to throw in we 3 just because.
I don't think so. I don't.
We felt the same way about Caleb, like on America's Got Talent. We kept saying like, oh, he'll get.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Caleb didn't win in the end.
It came pretty close. Who knows? It's funny. I actually met him in person, and he's like such a nice person. So I don't want to say anything.
I loved him as a person on the show.
Oh, he was like a cool dude. He was like doing impressions. Like he's pretty talented, dude.
He's very likable. I was everyone on Idol this year.
Yeah, me too. But we could talk about Idol a long time. Maybe one day when you've had a chance to go to the tour, we'll maybe do a podcast talking about our thoughts on the performances.
Let's do that because I'm going to the last show actually on the tour, so I'm excited.
When is the tour ending?
September. It's mid-September. I don't know exactly what day. It's the second Sunday in September, whatever that is.
All right. So, any final things you want to touch on before we kind of close this up?
I do want to touch on Darcy's performance because
yes, let's hear it. Tell me what you thought about Darcy's performance.
If I could vote for her again, I would. For me, she's the best winner the show's ever had. I really think so. I think she's
best winner
on America's Got Talent. Yeah, totally.
Better than Grace?
Oh, definitely better than Grace.
Grace is pretty huge. Like, is Darcy like?
Darcy's doing well. She's touring.
I kind of want to a little bit see her perform without the ventriloquist, without the puppet, because that girl has some pipes.
Have you seen her perform without the puppet?
I haven't actually. I've seen her perform only with the puppet.
You can watch her without the puppet. There's a video on YouTube, and she's amazing. She's a better singer than any of the singers this year, and she's also a ventriloquist.
I feel like if she's on the show this season, she still wins handily.
She wins by more.
She reminds me of, I don't know if you'll get this, Jordan Smith on The Voice, where the guy was just running away with it to such a ridiculous degree, and it
was almost it was like a foregone conclusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's amazing, and I was so happy to see her back. So happy to see that she's having success, and hope it continues for her because my God, is she good?
Yes, she's one of those
won this year. So
she's one of those contestants that's pimped by the producers, but I'm kind of okay with her being pushed because she is just so, oh my God, good. But otherwise, she would win this season. I would take her over just about any of these acts.
I would take her over any of these acts.
Even Shin.
I would.
Wow.
It's close. Shin Lim is the best magician they've ever had on the show. But Darcy's the best actor they've ever had on the show. So. All
right. Any last minute things otherwise, or we'll head to the close?
I didn't watch any of the donut filler segments, so I'm.
I forgot my Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It made me want coffee afterwards.
I actually skipped this donut segment on that show, but I knew there would be one, so I got to make my tweet about that, which was fun. Anyway, let's get to it. All right.
So, for those of you watching, you could find me on Twitter at AdamSoapbox. You could follow my 2 websites, AdamSoapbox.com and AdamsTVblog.com. There's a lot of projects I'm working on. Can't really share all the details about some of them. Some pretty exciting things, though, coming up. I do have a new blog post. Hopefully, I'm praying it'll be done by the end of the month. No guarantees. We'll see. Where can we find you, Eric?
Good news, I simplified my website. So now it's all my work stuff and my personal stuff because I don't need to keep my work stuff separate now that I have a job. So it's www.ericascher.com or just ericascher.com. Type in whichever one you want. And all my notes there. And of course, Eric_Ascher on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. Yeah. I'm everywhere. And I'm going to pre-announce it now that I'll be taking some videos of the Idol tour. So you might want to subscribe to my YouTube channel ahead of that. So.
Eric, who are you most excited about who's performing next week on America's Got Talent?
Is Noah next week?
Noah is next week. It's let's go through it all. It's Da Republic, Duo Transcend, Front Pictures, Glennis Grace, Michaela Phillips, Noah Guthrie, Quinn and Misha, The Sacred Rihanna, Samuel J. Comroe, the Savitsky Cats, Voices of Hope, and Yumbo Dump.
I know who I'm least excited for.
Is it the Savitsky Cats?
No, it's Yumbo Dump.
Is it Da Republic?
It's Yumbo Dump.
Is it Duo Transcend? All right. Thank you to all our viewers.
I'm gonna call it right now. So I'm making this. I have a friend I've been talking with America's Got Talent about for the past year and past couple months. So he thinks Rihanna has a shot at winning. So I'm gonna call it right now. She goes home next week.
Yep, pretty much. But there's one act. This is going to be the end of our show, but there is one act that I am so beyond excited to see next week for one sole reason. It's because we are going to be getting so many more puns because it is going to be a catastrophe. And on that note, thank you so much. We'll see you guys at some point. Good night, everyone.